And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Tuesday. Happy 420 if y'all celebrate that out there legally, if you're in one of the couple of states that allows for the weed smoking to happen. Remember to stay off the weed. Classic Stephen A. Smith. I mean, I'm already having a good day, watching all those edits on Twitter of that. I mean, what a great moment that he's definitely capitalized on, and I don't think it ever gets old. Does that ever get old? I'm not tired of it, but nice little 420 today. We got continuing on with our NFL draft prospect of the day, looking at Shakur Brown, cornerback from Michigan State. There's a lot of good defensive back depth in this kind of draft. I think when we talk about wide receivers and running backs, it's very kind of limited of who these kind of A1 tier 1 should be anyway, A1 tier 1 kind of prospects coming into the league this year. Devontae Smith, Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, Lamar Chase. I mean, those are going to be the top tier playmakers in this draft, and then everything else is kind of bust potential. We know Trevor Lawrence is going to be 100% good, but really after that, there's a lot of bust potential. There's no way, I'm telling y'all, there is no way that Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Zach Wilson are all going to pan out and be great quarterbacks in this league. It's not going to happen. I can almost guarantee it. I will go out on a limb and say that those three quarterbacks will all not succeed in this kind of draft class for quarterbacks. So I really think this is kind of more of a defensive kind of good kind of draft class this year. So we're looking at another cornerback today on the show. Breaking down the NBA from last night, doing a moneymaker. We had 2 of 3 last night. The Cavs, -3, really screwed us. Jared Allen had a really lame game, so unfortunate that we lost that. But Warriors plus 10 points, folks. I mean, absolutely steal of a deal, and we were able to get it. So fantastic there. We'll break all that down as well, but let's just jump right into the stories of the day, and we do have quite a bit to go through. So let's start here, because I know I haven't been saying it every single day, and the Dolphins got a little cute with that trade back from 3 to 6, and now that the draft is getting a lot closer, we're only 9 days out now, the Dolphins are trying to get cute again. But I am here to remind Brian Flores, I will no longer be a Dolphins fan if we do not get Devontae Smith. I don't care if you want to keep, well, I do care if you want to keep trading back. I think it's a dumb choice. I think it's a dumb decision. I don't care that we're getting all these first round draft picks. It doesn't matter, because then 2 years from now, when we go to use that first round draft pick, we trade back, and then have to wait another 2 years, and we're still rebuilding, and we're still not getting that playmaker that we need to get it done this year. So that's why I don't want to keep trading back. But the Dolphins have already made 2 moves in the NFL draft, and they may not be done yet. Sources say, and I swear to God, if these sources are true, I gotta just murder Brian Flores. It's unfortunate, but I gave him his chance. I gave him the warning. We told him right at the start, or right at the end of the NFL season after the Super Bowl, when we kind of, kicked into gear of our draft talk on the show, I told him straight up, hey, we better get Devontae Smith. I did not want to trade out of number 3. He traded out of number 3, went back to number 6, and I still felt all right. I didn't love it. I liked it. I didn't love the trade back. But we still have a chance to go and get Devontae Smith. And I mean, we just have to go and get a Heisman winner wide receiver and roll the dice with him. He's a proven talent on the field, and we just have to hope he kind of makes that jump from a great playmaker in college to a great playmaker in the NFL. But sources say that the Dolphins have received calls from teams looking up to trade to number 6, and it is something that they are considering. A lot of things in play, but Miami could be at it again, and so help me God, Brian Flores, please, please, please cash out. You've won. You won. Don't try to be greedy and get more money, more picks, anything like that. Know when to walk away. Know when to actually use the first round draft pick that you have and not kind of keep keep going back and back and back and back, because the last time I checked, our offense was actually absolutely very, very lackluster. We could not get it done. We could not throw the ball down the field because our wide receivers were inconsistently injured, or we have 5'7" wide receivers. That's not going to get it done consistently in this league. So here we go. Brian Flores, stop all the nonsense, shut down all the rumors, shut down all these sources. You're not taking any calls at number 6. We're getting Devontae Smith, folks. That is it. That is it. That is it. If I have to hack, come to our live kind of NFL draft show on draft night, first round that Thursday. Because I'm going to hack into the draft. I'm going to have to hack into the draft and make the selection for us, for all the Dolphins fans out there, because I have a feeling it's not going to be what I want and what the right decision is going to be. So I'm so nervous for the draft, folks. Brian Flores, I love him, but man, oh man, some of these decisions I'm just not endorsing. And I definitely don't endorse moving back from number 6. Alrighty, let's go to this story. New breaking story here. The Steelers signed head coach Mike Tomlin to a 3-year contract extension through the 2024 season, and it's truly deserved. This man, if you actually look at what this man has done for the Steelers, it's actually really, really good. He's only had 5 seasons of 10 he's only had 5 seasons of less than 10 win seasons totals. Absolutely fantastic, folks. And then just in 2019, when Big Ben was injured and they had the freaking backups of Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, the man's name was Duck, and he took that team to 8-8, having 2 absolutely garbage quarterbacks, and still led them to a 500 record, 8-8, second in the AFC North, getting it done, being competitive decently with absolutely garbage quarterbacks. So yes, this man truly deserves to still be a head coach. The only knock that we have on Mike Tomlin is, unfortunately, he's not having deep playoff runs. He did win the Super Bowl, fantastic. They got to the, did they get to the Super Bowl back in 2010? What happened? Yeah, they lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's sorry. That was Aaron Rodgers' first win, or his only Super Bowl win there. They lose 25-31 against the Packers. So, he's brought them to 2 Super Bowls, won. Absolutely fantastic. Same thing with Pete Carroll. That's what Pete Carroll has done for the Seahawks. Led them to 2 Super Bowls, won them one. Very, very close of winning a second. Same thing here against the Packers. They one score, Super Bowl game there in 2010. So, he has the accolades, and he has the consistent winning seasons over and over again. But that kind of deep playoff runs have really dried up ever since then. So ever since 2010, 2011, they go 12-4 and lose the wild card game. Not good, not a deep playoff run. Then in 2012, what happened here? They finished 8-8, not getting into the playoffs. That was one of his down years. Then we go to 2013, another 8-8 season where they did not make the playoffs. Then we go to 2014, they finished 11-5, another wild card round loss. 2015, 10-6, they made it to the divisional round. So that was pretty good. But then they lose to the Broncos, 16-23. I believe that was that Peyton Manning's year. Was that Peyton Manning's season in 2015 where they got to the Super Bowl? Let me quickly check this. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl against the Panthers. Fantastic. He's losing against, when he gets to those long playoff runs, he's losing against pretty good competition. So, once again, another kind of silver lining of this man getting another contract extension. Then in 2016, they got to the conference championship, just unfortunately loses to the Patriots. And then the Patriots go on to win the Super Bowl. They lose against the Broncos. Broncos go to the Super Bowl and win it. They lose to the Patriots. The Patriots go to the Super Bowl and win it. Then they're back to 13-3, losing the divisional round against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that was the year that they made it to the championship game against the Patriots. Unfortunately lost there, so they're losing against some good competition out here. Still being competitive in these games. And then in 2018, couldn't get to the playoffs. 2019, they couldn't get to the playoffs. Then just this season, they were able to get to the playoffs with Big Ben's, lame arm, but then they lose in the wild card round against the Browns. So, he's definitely, getting to the playoffs. That's step one of being a good head coach or just kind of successful in this league. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see what we can do. He's won the rings before. He's gotten to multiple championship games. He's been kind of, deep in the playoffs, mix here and there. So definitely deserves a contract extension. Let's run it back with, Big Ben's last year. Let's kind of see how he handles that transition, because he's only really had Big Ben for his entire career. No, they won the Super Bowl in 2008 with Big Ben. 2007, Big Ben there? Yeah, Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben was there his entire career. So we'll have to kind of see how he handles that without Big Ben, but absolutely well-deserved. There's no other there are other coaches in this league that are kind of, still above 500, every single season, but there's not that many. That's why there's a lot of coach turnover. I mean, look at the Lions. I mean, I'm sure the Lions would kill to have a Mike Tomlin type head coach. I mean, a winning season every year. Oh my goodness. That's like the Super Bowl for those Lions over there. So definitely well-deserved here for Mike Tomlin. Absolutely fantastic. And I'll see what he can do, kind of not this season. Well, I do want to see what he does this season coaching wise, but after Big Ben, because we all know this is Big Ben's very, very last season. It's cut and dry. He's already taken the big pay cut. They really didn't even want to bring him back, but Big Ben's playing for free, so might as well. So we'll see what Mike Tomlin does. Expect them to probably get a quarterback in the draft this year to see if he pans out. Not obviously they don't trade up and try to get, one of those top tier names, but maybe, a solid kind of second tier quarterback in this year's draft. And we'll see if they can kind of develop him for him to kind of take over, because we know it's not Duck Hodges. We know it's not the other man, or Mason Rudolph. We know it's not any of them. So we'll see what he does, but truly deserved. Well done. And Mike Tomlin, I mean, Super Bowl winner in this league. Got to respect it. Alrighty, let's keep moving on. And this one, I don't really know what to make of this one. I think it's a little sad, but we'll see. We'll see here. So we just said on the show yesterday, Alex Smith has retired from the NFL. Unfortunate, but truly fortunate, because, he had that big old comeback story, so that was good. But Alex Smith visited with the Jaguars and was, quote, so excited about the opportunity to reunite with Urban Meyer before deciding to retire. Quote, I wanted to see what was out there, and I'm happy I did. So before Alex Smith retired, he was kind of, seeing what was out there, seeing if he could still go. But he ended up not getting it. And when we read this article, he's saying that teams wanted him. It wasn't, the problem wasn't teams didn't want him. It was just that he wanted to retire. But Alex Smith, if he was so excited to kind of pair up with Urban Meyer and that didn't transpire, that's not the greatest. I think that maybe kind of Alex Smith was kind of pushed into retirement a little bit. We saw him kind of wait. He waited it out, kind of waited until that kind of free agency period passed. And, every team got a quarterback, but nobody was calling him. So I don't know if I should believe this story, because he says right here, multiple teams wanted to sign Smith. This is according to Tom Pelleroso's report. I don't know, but Smith decided a couple of weeks ago to walk away from the sport in his term. So maybe, but I don't know, man. If he was so excited to kind of, possibly reunite with Urban Meyer, we know he's the new quarterback, the new head coach for the Jaguars. We know they're taking Trevor Lawrence, and we know they still have Gardner Minshew. So there really wasn't a spot on the roster. If they're going to go 3 quarterbacks deep, then there is a spot, but not every team does that. So I don't know what to make of this story. I don't really think Alex Smith wanted to retire that much this year. I think he wanted to kind of run it back a little bit. He had decent success this season. He went 5-1. That's pretty gosh darn good. That was what Drew Lock did, and then he floundered his second season, but we'll see. We would have been able to see if Alex Smith would have kind of been able to turn it around this year. But this is what he says. I wanted to do my due diligence, even though I was leaning towards retirement, Smith said. I wanted to marinate in it a little bit. I wanted to see what was out there, and I'm really happy I did. So I don't really know, man. It's a sad story if he still wanted to play, but Urban Meyer was like, yeah, I would love to have you, but there's just no room for you, and I'm so sorry. And Alex Smith was like, no, I understand. I'm just going to retire anyway. I just wanted to see what was out there, really. So, we've got Alex Smith saying that, he was still leaning towards retirement, so I guess we'll have to take him at his word. But if you're so excited about potentially still being in this league, but then, that other side doesn't really reciprocate that same feeling, then you're really pushed into retirement. So, whatever the truth is for Alex Smith here, in his decision to retire and not play, we'll never know the exact truth unless it gets leaked, and I don't think that's going to happen because it would hurt Alex Smith, and Alex Smith is kind of big right now, from that comeback and everything. So, hey, he went out in his own terms, so we'll respect that. Very well done to Alex Smith. Could not find another suitor, unfortunately, this year, and he decides to retire. So that's what we got in Alex Smith. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Tyron Matthew, love it. One of my favorite defensive players in this league right now. Tyron Matthew says he has rewatched this Super Bowl 4 to 5 times, and the Honey Badger says it hurts him more each time, so he's hungry. He's, trying to exact his revenge and see what they did wrong so they can go back. I mean, Tyron Matthew wants to be a winner. We know this Chiefs team is absolutely still stacked. I mean, as long as you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I mean, you really have a really great chance of going to the Super Bowl every single season. So Tyron Matthew keeping that kind of internal flame lit coming into this season, so watch out for this kind of Chiefs defense. Now, we know the Chiefs offense was the one that really kind of struggled in the Super Bowl. I mean, they just could not do anything consistently offensively in that game. It did not look like anything Patrick Mahomes has ever done in his career. That's how kind of bad it was looking, and we kind of had that other sub-story of Andy Reid's son almost killing children while driving drunk. Never really good. That really kind of played, I would have to say, that played a huge part into this. So I know the Chiefs are eager to get kind of back there to kind of have a fresh start in the Super Bowl. So Tyron Matthews keeping that fire lit, and we know he's a true kind of leader defensively on the field. So watch out for the Chiefs defense coming up, because they are not over that Super Bowl loss against the Buccaneers. Alrighty, let's keep moving on. I mean, we got a lot of stories to go through, folks, so we're trying not to spend too much time on these. But let's go to this one right here. Jimmy Johnson was on The Herd last night, and he had a pretty good quote here, and I think this is kind of gets a little overlooked a little bit. So here, this is what Jimmy Johnson says on the draft here. The most important thing to me on, or the pro days, sorry, quote, the most important thing to me on pro days was getting to know these players personally. I didn't want to draft anyone with a high pick unless I've been around them. And, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, what the pro day is, I mean, it's a quarterback throwing to a wide receiver. I mean, no contact, no defense, just those two players out there. So, I mean, these coaches aren't flying in to kind of see if these guys can play. I mean, that's what you watch the film every single Saturday in college for. That's when you really see if a player can play or not. You just kind of want to meet them in person, see what they're all about, see how their attitude is, see if they can kind of handle being the face of a franchise, because you're trusting this man. You're putting millions of dollars into this man. Yes, they're paying him, $25 million right off the rip if he's kind of a first-round pick, but you're also kind of putting your entire franchise on this man that's worth billions of dollars. Advertising, marketing, game revenues, being on television, getting to the Super Bowl, selling the merchandise, all of that. So you want to kind of have a good head on your shoulders if you're going to be the face of the franchise here. So another important point here, when we're kind of, when we've been talking about who's showing up to these pro days in persons, we just saw Trey Lance yesterday, have his second pro day, and, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers went again there, so they're very highly interested in them. I mean, you're not going to flounder on your pro day. I mean, there's no defense. The only pressure is that there's, actual teams that are thinking about drafting you, watching you in person. So, these these kind of head coaches and general managers that are flying out to these pro days, they're like, yeah, we don't care if you're throwing the ball great. We've seen you throw the ball great. That's why we're here in the first place. If we didn't think you could throw the ball great, we wouldn't be here. We want to see how you are. So if you're having a second pro day and the same coaches and same general managers are coming back for your second pro day, that's pretty good. That's like the second interview. Hey, we liked what we heard from you, but let's kind of, let's see if it was an off day. Is this kind of your true personality? Is this kind of what you're showing us, in that first day, really you? Can we still really trust you? Are you a bullshitter? Are you the real deal? Let's kind of get a second gauge here in the second pro day. You're not going to, like we said, you're not going to flounder in the pro day. I mean, that maybe be like 10% of why general managers and head coaches fly out for the pro days. Like, if this man is going to kind of flounder under the pressure of us just kind of watching him and there's no defense on the field, now that brings up a couple of red flags, kind of huge red flags if you're floundering just by having people watch you. So definitely a kind of a great take here by Jimmy Johnson, who's kind of been through the pro days and all that. So the most important thing to him on pro days was just getting to know these players personally. And if you're having those kind of second visits, I would say that's pretty good. So watch out for potentially Trey Lance to go number 3 to the 49ers. They went to both of his pro days, so... Alrighty, and I absolutely love this. Yes, sir. Jameis Winston, a little video comes out of him, at a quarterback camp with other quarterbacks teaching, these young guns, these young rising superstars how to get it done. And we hear a little bit of a speech by Jameis Winston here, and that was kind of what we've been waiting for of Jameis Winston. We know this man can flat out play. You don't throw 30 touchdowns if you cannot play the quarterback position. He also threw 30 interceptions. I get it, folks. That was kind of the not great part, but he went to the Saints as a backup, and we just wanted to see Jameis Winston get better at being a leader. We all know I bring it up all the time when I can because it is truly the most funny thing I think I will ever see in my entire life. I have to put up Jameis Winston eating a W speech as the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, folks. So, that whole infamous speech there, getting nobody motivated, getting nobody energized, looking like a clown, honestly, out there. I don't know what he was thinking. That wouldn't even get kind of a modified football team fired up to say, let's go eat a W and then go chew on your fingers. So, we get Jameis Winston out here in the quarterback camp, being a pretty good leader out here. He was pretty good. I mean, you hear him out here, speaking to these guys, saying I was the #1 overall pick, but then I kind of turned into a joke. But hey, I'm competing. I'm getting it done every single day. I'm trying to live up to my greatness, committing to the dream, committing to the sport, really kind of, inspiring me a little bit. I've kind of, felt some things. I didn't get goosebumps watching this video, but it was still a step up of let's eat a W speech. So I have to commend so much. I got to commend Jameis Winston so much on the speech. He learned from Drew Brees. That's really the only thing we wanted him to learn from Drew Brees. Yes, his talent, it's obviously great. Yes, learn as much as you can, but that was the biggest flaw in Jameis's game, not being a leader. Also throwing the interceptions. Got to cut those down, but Drew Brees didn't set the perfect example, throwing 3 interceptions in the playoffs against the Bucs this year. So Jameis Winston learning from Drew Brees, absolutely fantastic here. He did get a little preachy at the end of this. Not the greatest. I mean, saying, you got to believe in yourself and God, and, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. Just a little bit too preachy there, but hey, I'm not going to knock the overall message here. It was great. He's really kind of finding his voice. I mean, when you're hearing it, you can kind of hear that he believes everything that he's saying right here. It's not like, he's, shy. He's like, hey, guys, I used to be the #1 overall pick, and I was a clown, and, now I'm really pretty good, and I'm out here, and you guys can be good too. You guys can be good too. Y'all want to be good? You guys can be good. I used to be like you. Y'all can be good. Nah, he was, out there. He was like, hey, go and chase that dream. This is a kid's game that men play, and we just got to get back to that. We love this game, man, and I love this game. And you got to work for it, and we're gonna have some tough days. That's gonna come, but hey, we're gonna persevere. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna play. We're gonna work hard. But I encourage every one of you right here, right now, to have faith and believe in yourself above any coach, above any teammate, above any friend. Have confidence in yourself. So, pretty good speech out here. Learned something from Drew Brees. So we'll see if that kind of translates onto the field, if he can go out and win that kind of quarterback competition against Taysom Hill here. Because if he can, be the starting quarterback and have this leadership, watch out for the Saints this year, folks. Because, Drew Brees, not the best throwing the ball last season. Like I mentioned, the 3 interceptions in that playoff game, just truly, you can't be doing that. You just can't throw interceptions in playoff games. You just cannot do that. You will lose games. Unless you're Tom Brady, you get bailed out, and you get bailed out. You get bailed out for some reason because you're Tom Brady. But nobody else is Tom Brady in this league, so nobody's getting bailed out by throwing 3 interceptions in a freaking NFC championship game. Wild. So we'll see what happens. Definitely going to be interesting here. I know the draft is coming up, but we still have so much more storylines to go over than just draft picks and how those are going to help out this team. Who's going to win the Saints quarterback battle? Because if it's Jameis Winston, y'all better watch out because this man's a leader now. So anything is possible for the Saints. So absolutely fantastic. Well done, Jameis Winston. That's all we've wanted to see. We've been talking about this for like 6 months, folks. Just Jameis Winston learning leadership from Drew Brees, and we see it kind of come out yesterday on this nice little video. Alrighty, speaking of the draft, something could go down. Are the Packers looking to trade Jordan Love? What? Their first round pick last year's draft that did not do anything, obviously, because he's a quarterback and they still had Aaron Rodgers, and now they're looking to kind of move off of him. Once again, another reason why I would probably say this quarterback draft class isn't that great, honestly. Trevor Lawrence should be good. He should be good. We've seen him for 4 years. He was at the highest level there. He won everything that you can. man in college, and now he's going to translate to the NFL, I think, pretty decently. But other than that, I truly I can't put my name. I would not put my name on any other person or any other quarterback in this draft. The only people that I am putting Takes by Fans name, this show's name on, is Trevor Lawrence, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, and Devontae Smith. I'm not even putting my name on Jamar Chase because we haven't seen him last year, and I'm not ready to do that. So I'm only putting my name on really 4 great players out here, and I would definitely, I triple down on Devontae Smith being the best wide receiver in this draft class. I've got no problem with that. So let's see what the Packers are kind of up to here. We get a little bit of a leaked photo. Gotta love it. This is why Twitter's great, folks. One image gets posted to the internet, and then everybody's just zooming in on literally every single detail, and then you get some nice, interesting stories. So here we go. A little bit of it's just a sheet. It's a draft sheet of what the options are for kind of what this team is. So I don't know if this who did this come from originally? This sheet makes note to a possible trade with the Patriots. The details are, okay, so I don't know who got this sheet. I don't know if this is on the Packers side or the Patriots side of this kind of trade. But we get a potential trade here, kind of first round options right here. This is what the sheet says, round 1 options. It kind of lays out all the options. And on the very last kind of line here, it's a trade to the Patriots, trading quarterback Jordan Love and the 29th pick. So Green Bay's 29th pick, Jordan Love, and a round 4 pick to the Patriots for the Patriots' round 1 pick 13, so the 13th pick in this year's draft that the Patriots have. So this is a little interesting. We were kind of seeing the Patriots a little interested in Mac Jones a little bit, but if Bill Belichick doesn't think he's the guy and is actually kind of liking Jordan Love a little bit more, this trade could definitely happen. So a little interesting here, and maybe was this the long game? Is everybody in the Packers big brain IQ out here? Them kind of seeing, hey, let's going back last year. This is what they were thinking. Hey, 2020's draft class, quarterback-wise, is really not that good. Let's get Jordan Love because he's actually looking pretty good out here. I don't believe so, but this is what they're thinking. He's actually looking good out here, and he's better than anybody else besides Trevor Lawrence. And if you're not a number 1 overall pick, you're not going to get him. So let's get Jordan Love. Let's hold on to him for a year, develop him, and kind of, release some story slowly out this year saying that he's looking real gosh darn good. Oh my goodness, you got to believe this, man. We can't wait to kind of supplement and kind of change out Aaron Rodgers for Jordan Love. Oh my God, he's so great. If only you guys could see what he's doing out here in these practice games. I would love to show you, but we can't. We're not gonna show you what he's doing, but we're just letting y'all know he's really freaking great. And then fast forward to this season, everyone's like, damn, y'all remember when the Green Bay Packers were saying that Jordan Love was actually really good? Do we take a chance on him? I'm not taking a chance on Mac Jones. What are you, nuts? I mean, he had Devontae Smith. He has got Heisman winners on his team. 1 year? 1 year's good? Is that what y'all want to do? Or y'all want to try and get Jordan Love, who, everybody's raving about him over there in Green Bay. So, very interesting here, and that's why I cannot wait for this draft, folks. We don't know what's going to happen. We only know the number 1 overall pick. We still don't know who the Jets are getting. We don't know who, in turn, the 49ers will get. They'll get the Jets' sloppy seconds, unfortunately, and then the Falcons at number 4. What do? They want to trade back. They want to get quarterback depth. What do? And the Dolphins, don't even get me started, because they'll trade every single one of their picks this year, and I know they will, and I'm afraid of that. So we don't know what's going to happen in this draft. It's going to be a great one, and maybe watch out for the Patriots to pull the craziest move of all time in a draft, trading your first-round draft pick for a previously selected quarterback that wasn't even playing last year, that we don't know anything about, when there's plenty of quarterbacks that probably won't pan out in this year's draft. So who knows, man? Who knows? But this is a possibility. Packers trading Jordan Love to the Patriots for their pick swap in an extra 4th-round pick. So we'll see what happens. Man, oh man, I cannot wait till the 29th. Oof. Come and watch our draft show live, twitch.tv/takesbyfans, a half hour before the draft officially starts. We'll get those times set when we know them, and we'll be live there. So come join us with other fans and see if our teams are getting better, and if they're getting worse. You can come, you can talk to me if your teams are getting worse. I'm sure if the Dolphins don't take Devontae Smith at number 3, I'll be heartbroken, and I'll be taking down the set and tearing everything down, so I'll get it. You guys can come pour your heart at our live draft show if everything's not going good. We'll make everything okay. We'll play, previous highlights of your team being good. We'll cheer you up. We'll cheer you up a little bit. Alrighty, so potential Jordan Love. I mean, could you imagine if Jordan Love, oh my goodness, I don't think he's going to pan out, but nobody else in this draft is either, quarterback-wise. So truly interesting, truly. But this is why you get proven quarterback talent, because here it is. Jalen Hurts lives for the grind, folks. Yes, sir. According to Eagles running back Boston Scott, Jalen Hurts, he never leaves the building. That's how dedicated he is to the Eagles. He eats, he sleeps, he dies. He will die in that building. He will never leave the Eagles building. So getting all that workout in, trying to kind of, get to that second level, take that second step like Tua hopefully is also doing. Hopefully he's also living in the Miami Dolphins building. But I mean, Jalen Hurts has a lot of pressure on him. They just got rid of Carson Wentz, who was the previous kind of face of the franchise. He knows they have to kind of start winning more now. He had a couple of passes last season, losing games and not being clutch because he was a rookie. But hey, year 2, this is where we have to see you start getting better, or we're going to start kind of, looking at the replacement, kind of like what happened to Carson Wentz. Hey, you got injured like 2 years in a row. That's not going to fly. We can't have that. We're going to bring in Nick Foles. We're going to win a ring off of that, and then we're going to just throw you to the curb and start looking for your replacement. So Jalen Hurts knows this. He saw it firsthand. We'll see how he does, but I would definitely still bet on Jalen Hurts getting it done. I loved what I saw from him on the field last year. He's getting it done this year off-season wise, so we'll see if he's going to take that next step. So once again, another storyline to look into going into this year, this NFL season. How are the kind of, sophomore seasons going to pan out for all these, great players? Joe Burrow coming from the injury. Justin Herbert just absolutely being one of the best rookie quarterbacks of all time. He was setting record after record after record, just looking absolutely unstoppable out there. Tua, accuracy is absolutely fantastic. Needs to kind of know when to throw the ball. And, maybe, extra help wide receiver-wise. So many storylines to watch out for. I cannot wait. And Jalen Hurts is putting himself on the map here, saying that, hey, I'm actually real gosh darn good out here, and he's ready to prove it to everybody next year. Alrighty, let's go to some basketball stories now. Here we go. LeBron James is, quote, believed to be weeks away from making his return to the NBA. We know that Anthony Davis should be back any time now. He said that the coach for the Lakers said that Anthony Davis would probably not come back during these Jazz games. They just faced the Jazz last night, lost, unfortunately for them. But, so he should be back any game now. It wouldn't surprise me if he's back next game, Anthony Davis. But LeBron James, he doesn't need to come back in this regular season. This Lakers team is still decent without him. It's not great. It's not going to win a ring without him. Absolutely not. But currently, let's see where they are in the West. I think they're still number 5 here in the West. Still 5 here in the West. 3 games above 6 and 2 games out from 4. 2.5 games out from that 4th seed. So, 4 or 5 play each other. Just kind of really depends on home court at that point at the 4 or 5 seed. Can't really catch the Clippers. They're kind of, 6 games out from them, and, they are just going to keep winning. So, LeBron James, no real pressure, no real urgency to get back. Just really the only reason for him to get back would be to kind of build that chemistry back up with the squad going into the playoffs. But Lakers possibly won't see LeBron James for the rest of the regular season. Let him get ready for that playoffs, and potentially, depending on who their first round matchup is, if it is against the Nuggets, they're probably going to have to play LeBron James. And that, like I said, the 4 or 5 matchup, really don't see them moving. If they move down to the 6, they'll have to face the Clippers at 3. Definitely need LeBron James there. If they're able to get to the 3 for some reason, they'll face the Blazers, and they probably wouldn't need LeBron James for that series. But it is kind of coming to it that they are. This West is truly stacked top to bottom, honestly. So LeBron James is probably going to have to play playoff series number 1, and that's probably what their main focus is. Let's get LeBron James healthy right for that first round of the playoffs. We don't care for this regular season anymore. We're honestly over it. We're pretty much locked in at the number 5 talent-wise, so they're just focusing on getting everybody healthy, and let's make this another playoff run, and let's try to go back-to-back. So don't expect LeBron James on the floor in the regular season for the rest of the year. But then we got some good news, folks. It's all not bad news right now, because when I saw this, oh my goodness, I felt so good. I was like, ooh, yes, ooh, yeah. So here we go. Hornets say LaMelo Ball's wrist has healed, baby. Yes, sir. And he's been cleared to return to individual basketball activities. Yes, sir. LaMelo Ball is back. He's going to get right. Now, there's optimism that LaMelo Ball could return to the Hornets lineup in 7 to 10 days. Absolutely fantastic. Coming in at the right time. I mean, we're really down to the nitty gritty here. Last probably, 14 games for all of these teams out here. Hornets are still in the playoff hunt. They're still number 8. They could fall all the way down to number 10, and they still have kind of a 4-game lead between number 10 and number 8 here. So the backups have done a decent job. I mean, they were the number 5 seed at one point, but I mean, when you lose kind of your top 3 players, you're gonna start to fall in the rankings a little bit. So they're still in playoff contention. They are still kind of in the play-in tournament right now at that number 8 seed, getting LaMelo back, refortifying that kind of lineup a little bit more here. Let's see if Gordon Hayward comes back anytime soon. Same thing with Malik Monk. But hey, if we get one back, that's really kind of all they need, because they're still competitive. They're still kind of close in all their losses, even without their top 3 players out here. So love that LaMelo Ball is kind of almost very back here, very, very close here. Very close to being back. 7 to 10 days, looking real good, and absolutely fantastic. Now, can he recapture his Rookie of the Year title? That's where it's going to get a little dicey here. We had LaMelo Ball being the kind of, Rookie of the Year up until he got injured. Then Anthony Edwards started to get it really more consistent out here. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be too many games missed for LaMelo Ball to actually give him Rookie of the Year. But if he kind of comes back from this injury, wins all their last games here, still kind of averages what he was averaging before the injury, and if he gets to that 6th seed, if he can somehow fight a 3-game kind of difference between this 8th seed and the 6th seed, I could potentially give him that kind of that Rookie of the Year coming back from the injury. Let's just go back even further to the start of the year, starting off the bench, working his way up to that starting lineup, getting to that starting lineup, winning in that starting lineup, getting injured, coming back from that injury, propelling the Hornets back up into solid playoff contention. I would be all about that all day, of getting LaMelo Ball kind of Rookie of the Year, but we need to see him kind of start winning games when he comes back, and kind of pick up where he left off after the injury. So super glad that this man's coming back, super glad that this man's healthy, super glad that the Hornets are still kind of in playoff contention, because I mean, they truly deserve it. I mean, the hardest working teams right here, just kind of not having overall great talent, it's got to be the Hornets and the Wizards. I really want to see them in the top 10 here for that play-in tournament, because I honestly think that just kind of their hustle and grit really deserve a chance at a play-in tournament. And let's just see what happens when they get in there. Maybe they can make a little bit of a run. Maybe they can upset a number 1 or 2 seed. But they definitely deserve it, of just how much grit that they've gone through, not to have like the Nets stacked roster, not having all the depth of like a who's deep in this league? The 76ers, the Nets are still deep. I mean, you could say the Nets with everything. Great talent, deep, everything like that. So this Hornets team doesn't have the talent or depth. The Wizards definitely don't have the talent or depth. They have the talent with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, but I mean, they don't have the depth after that. I mean, we're talking about Davis Bertans as their 3rd best player on that team. Not good. So definitely want to see this Pacers, or not the Pacers. I absolutely hate the Pacers. Want to see this Hornets and Wizards team in the top 10 here. LaMelo Ball getting back. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Alrighty, and we talked about this one, and it has officially happened. I absolutely love it here. The Nuggets have signed veteran guard Austin Rivers to a 10-day contract. Absolutely fantastic. They were talking about it ever since Jamal Murray went down. Now, Monte Morris has truly stepped up for this Nuggets team. I mean, they won the last 3 games that they didn't have Jamal Murray in, so that's huge there. But now they're not deep now, because Monte Morris has to come off the bench and go to the starting lineup. So we'll see if Austin Rivers gets into the starting lineup. I don't think he does. It's only a 10-day contract, so once again, still have to kind of prove himself on this team, but coming off the bench, providing that depth, if he can give us 10 to 15 points a game off the bench, that would be absolutely clutch, and I think they would sign him to a long-term deal to gear up for this playoff run. But yeah, getting another guard, getting the depth here. The Nuggets may not seem like they need it because they're winning without Jamal Murray, but trust me, when they get to the playoffs, 2nd round of the playoffs, where everybody's still freaking tired and they're having to face a tough opponent, like I said, I mean, this Nuggets team may have to face the Lakers in the 1st round, 4 or 5 matchup. Nuggets, Lakers, Nuggets at home. So they're definitely going to need Austin Rivers out there for the depth. Fantastic pickup, and let's see if he can kind of play still, because he hasn't been playing for the Knicks in a long ass time, folks. So let's see if he can kind of shake off the dust a little bit, get that good, because he's only got 10 days. So we'll see what happens, but absolutely fantastic pickup. Alrighty, not a good story here now. Miles Turner is out indefinitely with a toe injury. He was out, missing a lot of games. We saw Sabonis slide over to the 5. Didn't help him out at all. They were still losing games there. Then he comes back for one game, and now he's injured and out for the rest of the season. So not great here. Great defensive big here in Miles Turner. Basically, they're, second best player, third best player on the floor, probably third best player. Maybe even fourth now since LeVert's there. But either way, I mean, they weren't winning with or without Miles Turner consistently, so it honestly doesn't matter. And I truly hope they don't get into that playoff tournament now. I mean, they are currently the number 9th seed in the East here. So hopefully this kind of playoff spot goes to somebody a little bit more deserving, like the Wizards, possibly the Bulls. So Miles Turner is out for the Pacers. Doesn't affect us because we don't like the Pacers. We don't root for the Pacers. We barely talk about the Pacers, and we never bet the Pacers. So him being out is not changing our opinion either way. We didn't really like the Pacers with Miles Turner, so definitely not going to like him without him. So Miles Turner out for basically the rest of the season. I would not imagine this man plays again this year. All right, and let's start talking about what is happening in the NBA. We've got some wild stuff going on of just kind of point guards going absolutely manic. And here we go. So let's start with this one. Russell Westbrook is the first player in NBA history with multiple triple-doubles against all 30 franchises. He finished last night with 13 points, 17 assists, and 11 rebounds versus the Thunder, his former team, really kind of completing the full circle of beating all 30 franchises with triple-doubles in all those games. So fantastic work by Russell Westbrook. This is kind of why we want to see the Wizards in the play-in tournament, because I want to see what Russell Westbrook can do. Man, we know he's so freaking great, and him and Bradley Beal have really just been single-handedly carrying this Wizards team. Like we said, it's just absolutely trash. The biggest trash. The supporting cast is trash. I mean, Rui Hachimura, Davis Bertans can't stay healthy. Alex Len at the 5. I mean, what the hell is that, folks? So, we'd love to see the Wizards in here. Russell Westbrook, we know he's a dog on the floor. It doesn't translate to wins. That's the biggest knock. But, hey, after that kind of trade deadline, they've really been getting it done. What are they in their last 10? Like 7-3? 7-3, 5-game winning streak for this Wizards team. Absolutely magnificent. So, want to see them kind of ride out this train at the end of the season here. Get into the play-in tournament. Let's see if Russell Westbrook can just go absolutely manic again and continue on what he's been doing this season. Possibly, I mean, I don't think they upset anybody. I mean, let's just say, for the sake of argument, they get in at that kind of number 8 seed and has to face the 76ers. I don't think they win that series, but just to see Russell Westbrook in the playoffs to potentially upset a number 1 seed, I would buy a ticket to that. I'll be glued to the screen watching those games because we know he has the potential to do so. So, we see Steph Curry, or not Steph Curry, we're getting to him next, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but Russell Westbrook is going manic with still these triple-doubles and winning games now because of it, so fantastic there. Then we just see Chris Paul has passed Magic Johnson for 5th on the NBA's all-time assist list. Yes, sir, points god, CP3, yes, sir, get it done. My favorite probably player to watch and root for. Older school, now that Curry's here, I can't lie. I mean, that man's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, whenever Steph Curry's on, I am glued to the screen. That's how great that man is, and we'll get to him in a second. But Chris Paul moving to number 5 here on the all-time assist list, him getting it done. I mean, we saw him just absolutely get it done with the Thunder last year, get into the playoffs, and now they're knocking on the door of that number 1 seed in the West, man, and they want playoff home court advantage throughout the entire kind of, postseason here in the NBA. So we get Russell Westbrook with the triple-doubles. We get Chris Paul with the assist, dishing, diming, getting it done. They just won last night. Absolutely fantastic there against, who was it, the Bucks? So great win there by him. So he's, still getting up there in the accolades. Absolutely still have to respect what Chris Paul is doing here in his older age. How old is he? I want to say like 36. Let's double check on that really quickly. Chris Paul, what do we got for this man? I'm saying 36. They don't tell me his age. They tell me his birth date, 1985. Damn, y'all. Oh, age 35 right there. Okay. 35 and 349 days. So basically 36. I mean, this man's about to celebrate a birthday in 2 weeks. So 36-year-old Chris Paul, absolutely still getting it done. Absolutely fantastic. And he's still leading teams to wins and high-level wins, being one of the best teams in this league overall. Fantastic. And then we got to talk about Steph if we're talking about great point guards here. The 3-pointers that have been made in the last week. Number 1 is Steph Curry with 36 3-pointers made in the last week. Number 2 is the entire Cleveland Cavaliers roster at 35 made threes. That's Darius Garland. That's Colin Sexton. That's possibly Kevin Love and Jared Allen if they're taking those shots, but that's an entire team. An entire team has 35. Then number 3 is the entire Denver Nuggets. That's Jokic's threes. That's Michael Porter Jr.'s threes. That's Jamal Murray's threes because I think he was still playing in this last week before he got injured. They're at number 3 with 34 threes. Number 4 is the entire Washington Wizards team at 29. That's Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, Davis Bertans, Rui Hachimura hitting all 29 threes in a week. Steph Curry's got 36 himself. Then number 5, you've guessed it, is the entire Detroit Pistons team. I don't even know who's on that team anymore besides Jeremy Grant, and he's been injured, so they're getting it done on that team. And then the 6th most 3-pointers made in the last week is the Pelicans. The entire Pelicans team at 25 threes. So Steph Curry is going manic. He's out shooting teams by himself, folks. Come on. Y'all got to recognize this man as just the extreme talent that he is. He has to go down as the greatest shooter of all time. He is still getting it done. This is not a 1 or 2 season fluke. This is the mother-loving player right here, folks. You have to respect it a ton. And now that just kind of leads into this. Is he the MVP? Before we get into that, I forgot we had this one up. Last 10 games, Steph Curry has made 70 in 10 games. 70 3-pointers. He has the most in a 10-game stretch in NBA history. We've just heard the stat of most 10-point 3-pointer games, 10 3-point made games. He's got like 15, and then number 2 in NBA history is Klay Thompson with 5, and Steph Curry had like 5 or just 4 in this season. 4 10 or more 3-pointer games made. So just absolutely manic of a shooter. And now that begs the question, is he the MVP? I mean, we see what he's shooting over these last 5 games. 53% or 53 points on 55% from 3. 42 points on 68% from 3. Wild. I mean, folks, that's wild. That's so wild. 33 points on 48% from 3. 47 points on 57% from 3, 49 points on 58% from 3. I mean, just absolutely manic. And we've told y'all that yes, Steph Curry can be MVP, but they have to finish at least 6 in the West. We have to see that his performance is leading to wins. It wasn't leading to wins in that kind of first half of the season. Steph Curry wasn't doing as good as he's been doing. He was still good. I mean, he was still the best team on the roster, but he wasn't kind of winning games because of his performance. He's really picked up the slack ever since really kind of that trade deadline. He's been winning games consistently. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They are currently number 9 here in the West, and they still have the ability to move up to number 3. I mean, this is not something out of the realm. I mean, they're only, what do we got, 4 games back from that 6th seed, and we know the Blazers are streaking losing, and we know the Warriors are streaking winning. So, I mean, Steph Curry still could be MVP this year. The season is not over yet. Yes, Jokic is doing great, and now, you know, Jokic's case for MVP gets a little bit more clear here because Jamal Murray goes down. So, I mean, he's going to pick up the slack. We just saw him do it last night, hitting kind of the game winner in double overtime. So, fantastic there. But Steph Curry still does have a path here for the MVP. Got to finish at least 6. We need to see all these stats translating to wins, because if you're not winning, I truly don't care. Then it's just nonsense. It's just buck. It's buck at that point. So if he wins like he's been doing, if he gets into that kind of number 6, we say number 6 because, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 is like playing tournament now. So, I mean, number 6, you're secure in the playoffs 100%. There's no way you cannot be in the playoffs if you are number 6. If you're number 7, number 8, you could lose 2 games and be knocked out of the playoffs, even though you should have those 7 and 8 seeds. So that's why we're kind of putting the mark at number 6 here. That would be kind of a good benchmark for just kind of how lackluster this Warriors team is. I mean, the second best player is like Draymond Green, because he's been there. He's been with the dynasty. Third best players like Andrew Wiggins, who's actually been stepping it up here. Kelly Oubre Jr. should have been realistically, you know, the second best person on this team, but he hasn't really been doing anything great. We've seen them win games without Kelly Oubre Jr. pretty much on a consistent basis. So we know that Kelly Oubre Jr. really isn't doing anything too much. So it's really just Steph out here. And if you can get to that number 6 seed, I would have no problem giving that man MVP. Just this absolutely manic shooting stretch that he's on. Let's see how much he can keep it up for. And we took, the Warriors were getting 10 points last night, and we took that up. We thought that was great value. They went outright. We didn't even need all those 10 points. You got to give it up for them. I mean, they just beat the 76ers, another kind of MVP performance game. So fantastic to Steph Curry here. All right, let's move on. Here we go. The youngest players in NBA history to reach 9,000 career points, folks. We're going to have to start talking about this man as the real deal. So, youngest players in NBA history to reach 9,000 career points. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, and then the newly added player on this list is Devin Booker from the Suns. Absolutely fantastic here. So, I mean, 5 years from now, are we going to be talking about Devin Booker like we talk about LeBron James, Kevin Durant? I mean, what elite company that this is. I mean, Carmelo Anthony's probably, unfortunately, the worst of this bunch of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, just because of the lack of accolades that he has. Doesn't have the ring, unfortunately. Has the money, absolutely. Has the, stats, absolutely. Nobody's doubting that. But so we'll kind of see, is Devin Booker going to go the kind of the Carmelo Anthony route, or is he going to go the LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant route, which is winning championships at a high level consistently? So we'll see what happens here. But Devin Booker, man, oh man, gets a little overlooked a little bit. He went manic in the bubble. That really kind of, elevated his status to, hey, I'm here, y'all. Y'all better pay attention to me. And then he kept it going this season. He's the primary scorer for the Suns team. A huge reason. I mean, you have to probably say he's the number one reason why this Suns team is number 2 in the West. Then the second option is, Chris Paul, because somebody's feeding him all these kind of, nice, easy assists at that kind of shooting guard position, allowing him to get all those points because Chris Paul's facilitating the floor. But at the end of the day, you have to make those shots. You have to knock down those shots. And as we see, 9,000 career points already for Devin Booker. Yes, sir. Get it done, young fella. I'm all about this Suns team going and making that run for the NBA title this season. I would absolutely love it if Chris Paul got a ring. Devin Booker starts his kind of, championship career early on. And let's see what he can do for the rest of his season, or the rest of his career. But an absolutely fantastic company here. Devin Booker with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant. I mean, would you want to be kind of mentioned in the same breath as LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant? Because I would. Unfortunately, I can't play basketball as well as them, so I probably never will. But Devin Booker can, and he is. So fantastic to that man. Let's see what this man can do if he can kind of, not flounder on the pressure of the playoffs. I don't think he will, because we saw in the bubble, I mean, it was a must-win game for them to even try to get into the playoffs in the bubble. They didn't, but they won all 8 games. No real pressure got to Devin Booker. He was hitting clutch shots after big shots, winning games by himself. I mean, it was all fantastic. So now he's got a great supporting cast around him. They've got a great team in general, and we have to respect Devin Booker for kind of, putting the Suns on the map, man. He was all by his lonesome last year, still got it done, just missed the playoffs. They bring in Chris Paul, who brought the Thunder to the playoffs, and now he's kind of helping them elevate their play even more. So Devin Booker, man, got to respect his game. Alrighty, not only is he scoring all the points, he's getting it done in the clutch, folks. Gotta respect it. So here we go. Dagger over the Bucks last night. Step back jumper. Cash Money ties up the game with 25 seconds left. And then, unfortunately, if you're a Bucks fan, a bad call. Devin Booker kind of got fouled. Not really, kind of a lame whistle here at the end of overtime. Once again, the refs kind of, blowing the games here. I mean, we've seen time and time again of these refs just calling ticky-tacky calls, like 1 second left, last shot up, like 0.3 seconds left right here as we're seeing, and it's just kind of ruining the game, honestly. I mean, winning the game at the free throw line is a little lame and really kind of has no place in this game, honestly. I hate it. Swallow the whistle unless it's egregious, like you literally like body slam somebody. That's the only way I'm blowing the whistle there at the end of the game. So they do blow the whistle, but hey, I mean, that's how the game plays out. Devin Booker goes to the line. He hit the shot in regulation to tie it up. he hits the game-winning free throws at the line to win the game. So, hey, game-winning shots by Devin Booker, clutch and good. Got to give him the even more respect. So, very well done there. But he was not the only clutch player last night. As we said, Jokic gets it done for the Denver Nuggets against the Grizzlies in double overtime. The big old three with 41 seconds left. That really ices the game. The Grizzlies can't keep up. This game is just absolutely crazy. I mean, what a great day of NBA. High-profile teams going at each other and just great outcomes. I mean, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Mavericks, or Bucks, Suns, and then Warriors, 76ers. I mean, just absolutely all great games. I cannot wait to the freaking postseason right now, because if the postseason is anything like we saw last night in the NBA, we're in for a freaking treat, folks, honestly. So, absolute clutchness all around. Jokic gets it done in double overtime. Devin Booker gets it done in regulation and overtime. And then what's this last one? Okay, that's not overtime or anything like that. So, just absolutely magnificent performances out here. Jokic gets it done. Look at this, man. MVP caliber performance right here. I mean, that's why it's tough to give it to Steph Curry right now, because Jokic is winning. And yes, he has a better overall team, but we still have to see the Warriors win a little bit more here. So obviously, Jokic, another kind of MVP case, will kind of add his total at the end of when we talk about the game. In the MVP kind of categories, where we're kind of keeping a point total here of good performances on a -5 to +5 scale every time they're out on the floor. So we'll see what Jokic can do and how many points he gets from last night. Alrighty, and then the last story to talk about, a little bit of an interesting one, but Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's wife, R.I.P. Kobe, Vanessa Bryant's statement on the end of Kobe's Nike deal. So that deal just kind of ended on the 13th of this month, April 13th, and Vanessa Bryant says, hey, we're not re-signing the deal with Nike. We're not doing Nike anymore. So a little interesting here. We're going to read this quote, but, let's read the quote first, and then we'll talk about it. So here we go. 2 quotes by Vanessa Bryant here on Kobe's legacy and stuff like that. So, quote, my hope will always be to allow Kobe's fans to get and wear his products. I will continue to fight for that. And then another one right here. Kobe's Nike contract expired on 4/13/21. Kobe and Nike have made some of the most beautiful basketball shoes of all time, worn and adored by fans and athletes in all sports across the globe. It seems fitting that more NBA players wear my husband's product than any other signature shoe. My hope will always be to allow Kobe's fans to get and wear his products. I will continue to fight for that. Kobe's products sell out in seconds. That says everything. I was hoping to forge a lifelong partnership with Nike that reflects my husband's legacy. We will always do everything we can to honor Kobe and Gigi's legacy. That will never change. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what Vanessa Bryant does. Does she go with kind of another brand? Does she just do Kobe's own shoe? Because we're going to get a kind of a little, conspiratorial, conspiratorial. That doesn't sound right, but we're going to get a little conspiracy a little bit here because, at the time of Kobe Bryant's death, truly untimely, and we're not trying to disrespect anybody out here, but there was kind of rumors that Kobe Bryant was going to not extend the deal with Nike because even Kobe, he knew, the deal was expiring this year. So Kobe, there was some rumors going around. I can't confirm or deny. This is kind of why we're saying it's a little bit of a conspiracy out there. But there was some rumors going around that Kobe was ending his deal with Nike because he wanted to create his own kind of, shoe production company, and he wanted to start signing other athletes to Kobe's own brand. Kobe wanted to start his own brand. So if you're going to go that route thinking that maybe Nike caught wind of this and didn't want to lose Kobe, so they potentially, possibly, maybe, probably not as well, murder him in a helicopter accident. I don't know how you go about that, but that is a conspiracy out there that happened because Nike got wind of Kobe wanting to kind of go off and do his own thing. So a little interesting here that Vanessa Bryant is not re-signing with Nike. I mean, if you're Kobe Bryant's wife and maybe she did know all the finances, maybe she did know the ins and out of the business, So maybe she knows this. Maybe Kobe Bryant talked to Vanessa about this. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't even know if any of this is true that I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what I have heard and what all the information that I have gathered, and that's why I'm saying it here. But yeah, definitely interesting that Vanessa Bryant is not continuing on this Nike deal. I mean, Kobe's legacy and Nike. I mean, Kobe and Nike. I mean, they go together. I mean, that was Kobe his entire career. The Nike shoes, they're Kobe's with Nike. So we'll see what happens here. Does Vanessa Bryant maybe honor the rumors that her husband wanted to start his own kind of shoe brand, and maybe she's going to do that legacy for Kobe? So anyway, either way, Nike's losing a hell of a lot of money here on Kobe's products, and I know they're not happy with it. We'll see kind of what they do kind of fill that void of revenue coming in. But Vanessa Bryant, I give her a ton of respect for not signing, a deal with Nike. We've seen the scalpers of Nike, the son of like the president of Nike, like buying all the shoes and then reselling it and kind of making himself out to be kind of this self-made mogul that he's getting all the product from his own mother and reselling them. I mean, just that alone. I mean, the corruption in the industry and all of that. So I give a ton of credit to Vanessa Bryant here, not re-signing that contract. But when you play with people's money, that's all I'm going to put out there. So that's where we're going to leave this. You cannot play with people's money. So we'll see if there's any ramifications about this. But y'all know money, man. Money rules everything. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. I mean, come on, folks. I mean, there's songs about it. It's true. It's true, man. So respect to Vanessa Bryant. We'll see if no, I'm not even. Respect to Vanessa Bryant. Let's just leave it at that. Alrighty. Those are all the stories that we needed to go over. An hour on just the stories today. I told y'all we had a lot of stories to go over. Great ones, good ones. All these were good. I enjoyed talking about all these. That's why I talked about them on the show. But yeah, that's where we're at today in the world of sports. So let's head over to the NBA. We'll go over this very, very quickly, because I do want to fit in Shakur Brown. Shakur? Shakur. Shakur. I'm calling him Shakur. Shakur Brown, cornerback from Michigan State. So let's go through the NBA very quickly from last night. So let's start here, and then we'll do our moneymaker. Try to squeeze that in as well. So here we go. First game up, Cavs, Pistons. Cavs letting us down. The only game that we did not get right in our moneymaker last night. Cavs -3. They lose by 4 against the Pistons. I mean, Pistons without Jeremy Grant. What is going on? Why did they win without Jeremy Grant? I don't get it. But no Jeremy Grant in the lineup, and everybody did actually, everybody did good on this Pistons team. I'm all about it. 10+ points by everybody in the starting lineup, and they got some good production coming off the bench. So let's just go through these quickly. Killian Hayes, 12 points, 9 assists, fantastic in the starting kind of point guard position. Josh Jackson, he has a nice clutch shot in this game to kind of help them propel themselves to the win over the Cavs here. He put up 16 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Isaiah Stewart at the 5 had a great night, 18 points, 16 rebounds, a lot better than Jared Allen, which we will get to. Tyler Cook filling in for Jeremy Grant at the 4, 12 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. And then Saddiq Bey led the team in scoring with 20 points, 5 rebounds on 6 of 11 from 3. So Saddiq Bey steps up his game a little bit. And then Frank Jackson off the bench, 20 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. Fantastic. So able to get it done there for the Pistons. Now let's go to the Cavs. We know we can count on Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Colin Sexton, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Fantastic. He shot 60%. Darius Garland, 23 points, 6 assists, 1 rebound. He shot 2 of 8, not the greatest from 3, and 47% overall, but we'll take those points. This is where it gets a little unfortunate for this Cavs team. Jared Allen, his worst game probably of the season. 5 points, 5 rebounds. He was a -10 on the floor, and we saw what his kind of counterpart did on the Pistons, Isaiah Stewart, 18 points, 16 rebounds. So getting a little outbeat there, and that was kind of really their downfall, because Kevin Love still put up 15 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, which is good, and Isaiah Okoro, to round out the starters here for the Cavs, 6 points on 22% shooting. But close loss here. They did get decent production off the bench by Tyron Prince, putting up 11 points off the bench, and Isaiah Hartenstein with 13 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds in only 19 minutes. So just unfortunately, Jared Allen couldn't get it done. Hate to see it. Truly hate to see it. So Cavs end up losing against the Pistons 105-109. Alrighty, and then the Bulls, another win without Zach LaVine. What is going on? Vucevic cannot play with another superstar. It does not translate to wins, and that's a little concerning. That was our one concern when we saw Vucevic come to the Bulls. We wanted it to work out. We thought it would work out, but we saw what happened with him and Aaron Gordon on the Magic, never really winning when they're on the floor together. And now we kind of saw him and Zach LaVine, Vucevic and Zach LaVine start to flounder a little bit, but the last 2 games, Zach LaVine's been out. The Bulls have won it. So, Bulls face the Celtics last night. They get the win, 102-96. Fantastic for the Bulls. I want to see this Bulls team kind of in the play-in tournament. So let's start here with the Bulls. Vucevic, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 of 6 from 3, 56% overall. Hit a nice kind of fadeaway jumper to kind of really ice the game late in the fourth quarter. So fantastic to Vucevic. Kobe White is back in this kind of starting lineup because of no Zach LaVine. So Kobe White, 19 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Pretty decent game by him. I mean, he shot 35%, 3 of 8 from 3. Not the worst. Garrett Temple in the starting lineup at the 2, 13 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Daniel Tice still at the 4, not Thaddeus Young. So Daniel Tice, 6 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Daniel Tice first game against the Celtics. Not bad. I mean, I do like Daniel Tice in the starting lineup over Thaddeus Young here. And then Patrick Williams to round out the starters, 6 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. So not a real great scoring night overall, but just enough to get it done. Vucevic gets it done. And then, Thaddeus Young off the bench getting it done. I mean, Thaddeus Young plays better off the bench than in the starters. And Daniel Tice's production from the starting role in the bench, there's really no difference there. So this is the absolute perfect kind of, rotation here. So, I mean, this is what we've been calling for. We don't really like Thaddeus Young in the starting lineup. That's why we like him off the bench and in the 6 Man of the Year category. So Thaddeus Young last night, 13 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds on 50% shooting, 6 of 12 from the field in only 16 minutes. So Thaddeus Young getting it done, absolutely fantastic there. Bulls get the win. Let's talk about the Celtics now. They didn't have Evan Fournier, and they didn't have Kemba Walker, and Jason Tatum only had 14 points. So all of that is recipe for a loss, and that's exactly what happened. So this was the starting lineup of the Celtics. Peyton Pritchard at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3, Semi Oulajé at the 4, and Tristan Thompson at the 5, and then nobody good off the bench. I mean, truly not great out there. So no wonder why the Celtics team lost. Jason Tatum only putting up 14 points on 17% shooting. Not the greatest, but he did have 10 assists and 13 rebounds, so fantastic there. But that points, we need the points. We need Jason Tatum to score the points. That's why they've been on this kind of big win streak without Evan Fournier. I mean, Jason Tatum's going for like 30, 40 points every single freaking game. So a little bit of a lackluster night by Jason Tatum, and they end up losing the game. I mean that's pretty much self-explanatory right there. But let's talk about everybody else here. Peyton Pritchard at the 1, 14 points, 3 assists on 62% shooting. He shot 2 of 3 from 3. Fantastic. So not bad by Peyton Pritchard to kind of get it done, stepping up. I'll take that. 14 points, maybe a little bit more assists in 31 minutes than 3, but overall we got the 14 points on efficient shooting, so not terrible overall. Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 4 rebounds. He shot well as well, 66% from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Fantastic. Tristan Thompson at the 5, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Semi Oulajé at the 4, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and then nothing great off the bench. So a little unfortunate loss here by the Celtics. We'll see if they can rebound, and let's see what happens with Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier get back, and let's see if the Bulls can continue winning without Zach LaVine. How crazy is that? Alrighty, moving on to the Warriors and the 76ers. We took the Warriors plus 10 last night, and they win by 11. Yes, sir, we know that's good value. You can always count on this Warriors team. They always step up against whoever they're facing. If they're facing a great team, they rise to that occasion. But unfortunately, when they face bad teams, they also kind of sink to that kind of bad team as well. But the 76ers are a good team. We thought the Warriors would be competitive. They were competitive. We took them plus 10. They win the game. Fantastic. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Steph Curry bought us dinner last night. Fantastic. So let's start here with the Warriors. Once again, Kelly Oubre Jr. did play, but he came off the bench. Now that's what we're talking about. Get this man off the bench. That's what I like to see. Steph Curry, I mean, I'm loving that all these coaches are kind of doing different rotations here to kind of really make everything work. We see Steph Curry not winning with Kelly Oubre Jr. in the starting lineup. So what do we do when he comes back? Bring him off the bench. That's what we're talking about. So Steve Kerr's learning. The head coach for the Bulls is learning, bringing Thaddeus Young off the bench. So, folks, are we saying anything wrong here? Have we ever said anything that's not true on this show? Man, oh man. We just told y'all who Melvin Gordon saying that he was overlooked on that kind of, Broncos team last year. We're overlooked. We've been calling Kelly Oubre Jr. not the greatest. Now he's off the bench. We love Thaddeus Young off the bench and not in the starting rotation. And we've seen both, and now they finally make the switch to Thaddeus Young back off the bench. Folks, what are we talking about? We see the Pelicans winning with Austin Rivers. Lonzo Ball. We see the Pelicans winning without Lonzo Ball, and then he comes back and they lose the next 2 games. I mean, folks, are we lying? Are we ever wrong here? Come on. Come on. So let's talk about this Warriors team now. Steph Curry, absolutely fantastic out here. 49 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds on 10 of 17 from 3. I mean, folks, fantastic work. Steph Curry, very, very close to MVP. Truly. Kent Bazemore at the 2 to kind of fill in for Kelly Oubre Jr.'s place. Now, Kent Bazemore didn't do anything. 2 points on 0 of 5 shooting. Trash. Kevon Looney, 5 points, 15 rebounds. Alrighty, Kevon Looney, love that, especially going against, the beef down low of Joel Embiid. Fantastic to grab those 15 boards. Draymond Green, 8 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Classic Draymond Green. He was a plus 15 in this win, getting it done defensively. Andrew Wiggins, 16 points, 2 assists, 10 rebounds. Second leading scorer. Absolutely love Andrew Wiggins this season, getting it done here. And I truly think if we're talking about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, man, oh man, wait till next season. And then if they can get kind of a good big here, a good 5, ooh, this team's back to competing for championships, man, truly. Already off the bench, Kelly Oubre Jr., as we were saying, 21 minutes off the bench, 9 points, no assists, 2 rebounds on 33% shooting. So kind of get into that kind of Lou Williams role off the bench. That's where I want to see Kelly Oubre Jr. kind of really thrive here. And then Damian Lee, silent. I mean, man, oh man, if he was playing this good all season long, we would probably put him in 6th man of the year category if he was kind of, winning more games a little bit. That's kind of, still hurting Steph Curry's case a little bit. They're not winning a lot of games. So Damian Lee out here, 12 points, 6 rebounds in 31 minutes. He did play a lot of minutes, but plus 16 in the win. I'm all about it. So Warriors doing just enough. Steph Curry doing just enough to get the win, and I absolutely respect the hell out of it. Now let's go to the 76ers now. What happened with them? They didn't have Tobias Harris, not the greatest. And they also, who also didn't they have? They also didn't have Ben Simmons. So a little light-handed here by the 76ers, but really no excuse. I mean, this Warriors team is nothing great all around. I mean, when we're talking about superstars, we still got Joel Embiid and, Seth Curry and Danny Green and, George Hill finally played last night. Fantastic there. So let's talk about the 76ers team quickly. Seth Curry at the starting point guard position, 15 points, 5 assists, 3 of 7 from 3. Not a bad night overall. Furkan Korkmaz stepping up in the starting lineup as well at the 2. 10 points, 2 assists on 36% shooting. He was a plus 6 on the floor, so fantastic defense there. Joel Embiid, 28 points, 8 assists, 13 rebounds. Unfortunately, loses the game. I mean, he didn't shoot the best. 38% on 21 shots. Locked down, we would say. Mike Scott getting into the starting rotation for only 14 minutes at the 4. No points on 1 shot. And then Danny Green, I mean, 12 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 of 7 from 3. So that was good. Defense a little lackluster. He was a -3 on the floor. So not bad overall defense in a 10-point win just to be -3. But, I mean, got to be a little bit better here. Points have to come from somewhere, man. Danny Green really should have stepped it up. Went beast mode. Got the 20-plus with Joel Embiid with the 20-plus. It's a little frustrating here. Losing Tobias Harris, their points production goes down a lot. They didn't even score 100 points. They scored 96. I mean, that's what Tobias Harris brings to this 76er team. Consistent scoring, because we really don't get it from Danny Green. We don't really get it from Seth Curry. And we didn't get it from anybody last night. Nobody in 20-plus categories besides Joel Embiid. All right, let's talk about the bench now. Shake Milton, we couldn't get that great production from him. 5 points on 7 shots, 14% shooting. Not the greatest there. Matisse Thybulle had a good game, 13.7 rebounds off the bench. Dwight Howard, look at this, man. Dwight, mother-loving Howard. Absolutely love it. 14 minutes, no points, 10 rebounds. Yes, sir. That's what we're saying. We tell you all the time. Doesn't matter how many minutes Dwight Howard will play. He will get you at least 7. And he got 10 rebounds this game in only 14 minutes off the bench. Wonderful work out there. George Hill played. I think this is his first game back. It may have been his second game back and we missed it, but George Hill out here, 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds off the bench on 17 minutes. So watch him get a little bit of a bigger role out here once he kind of gets into the rhythm of game rhythm, because he hasn't played basically the entire season, I don't think so. Decent job there by him, getting back into it. And let's also shout out Tyrese Maxey, 10 points, 2 rebounds. All right, so the Warriors get the win. Steph Curry still making his MVP case, but we got to see, more wins from this man. Alrighty, Spurs, Pacers, nothing great here. Pacers, unfortunately, no more Miles Turner. And then for the Spurs, anything good here? All the starters got it done. That was good. Classic. Derek White, 25 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. DeJounte Murray, 11.7 assists, 7 rebounds. Jacob Poeltl, 16.7 rebounds. Keldon Johnson, 14 points, 6 rebounds. And DeMar DeRozan, 18.6 assists, 8 rebounds. So everything was great here from the starting lineup. Let's also shout out Drew Eubanks off the bench, 9 points, 13 rebounds. Love seeing that. So Spurs were able to just do enough, and this Pacers team just couldn't get it done. That was it. No, they didn't have a lot of people here. Obviously, no Miles Turner, no Sabonis, and nobody else really steps up. Karis LeVert having to be the main scorer here. Only 18 points on 42% shooting. Needs to be better. 1 of 5 from 3. So Karis LeVert can't carry this team. Malcolm Brogdon also had 18 points. They kind of led the team in scoring together with 18. 18 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. So just nothing great here for this Pacers team. We know this. If they're not having Sabonis, they have no chance to win now. And that's exactly what happened last night. So Pacers lose. Not surprising. By 15, 109-94. All right, let's go to the Heat and the Rockets now. Heat get back on track with a win, 113-91 over the Rockets. Unfortunate. John Wall does play, but they don't win. Doesn't elevate the play around him. So a little glad that we're still staying away from betting the Rockets. It's a good thing that we're not doing that. Because it would have bit us in the butt multiple times if we'd taken that. So we're definitely off the Rockets now. John Wall's back in the lineup, and they're still, they still get blown out by, what are we talking about? Like 20 plus points. So absolutely 22 points. Yikes. So here we go. Let's talk about the Heat. No Jimmy Butler for them, and no Tyler Hero, no Bam Adebayo, and they were still able to win. Bam Adebayo said, "Hey, I hit the game winner. I'm taking a night off. Y'all cool with that?" And everyone was like, "Yes, yes, yes," and put their head down. So fantastic night by the Heat, able to get it done. Kendrick Nunn steps up big time. 30 points, led the team in scoring, 8 assists, 7 rebounds on 6 of 12 from 3, 60% overall from the field. Wonderful night by Kendrick Nunn. Finally, somebody else stepping up on this Heat team. It wasn't Duncan Robinson. It was never Tyler Hero, but Kendrick Nunn does it here when literally nobody's playing. So definitely big shout out here by Kendrick Nunn. We can also shout out Duncan Robinson. I just said he never really stepped up, but he had a good game this game. 19 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds on 5 of 11 from 3. Fantastic. We'll take that all day. Precious Achiuwa, 8 points, 11 rebounds at the starting 5 in lieu of Bam Adebayo. Andre Iguodala still in the starting lineup, getting it done, playing 28 minutes as well. Love seeing that. 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Yes, sir, the man got it done. And then Trevor Ariza at the 3. Not the greatest game. 6 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Just kind of meh out there, kind of the most lackluster of the starters. And then even off the bench, Goran Dragic still played 19 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Can always count on this man. 3 of 4 from 3, 70% overall from the field. And then Dwayne Dedmon, another good game by this man. 12 points, 6 rebounds in 19 minutes off the bench. So a wonderful night by the Heat. Everybody kind of getting involved here. Starters, bench, very well done. Next man up mentality for this Heat team, and they are able to beat the Rockets. All right, what went wrong with Rockets? Just nobody scored. That was really it. John Wall, 14 points on 28% shooting, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Kevin Porter Jr., when John Wall is in the starting lineup, doesn't have those big old, 25 point games. He led the team in scoring with Christian Wood out here, 18 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Christian Wood, 18 points, 7 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk, lackluster, and we've kind of seen that on the Heat. He was never great in the starting lineup, but when he got to this Rockets team, he was a little consistent here, but a little bit of a drop off here. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 0 of 2 from 3, couldn't get it done. And then Jae'Sean Tate to round out the starters, 10 points, 5 rebounds, and then nobody else got double-digit points off the bench. So that definitely hurt them. They lose the game. Not surprising. He get the win, 113-91. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here in the NBA. Wizards, Thunder, Wizards. What do we got? Wizards get the win. Big ol' bingo. 119-107 over the Thunder. Let's talk about this Wizards team first. Russell Westbrook, let's start with him. 13 points, 17 assists, 11 rebounds, 27% shooting, and he also had 8 turnovers. So not a great game here, but he was facing a little bit of a lackluster Thunder team with still no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Dort or anything like that, so they were able to take advantage of the win. Bradley Beal did play, and he moved over to the 3, so a little interesting here. They did shake up the lineup. Russell Westbrook at the 1, Raul Neto at the 2, Bradley Beal at the 3, Denny Avdija at the 4, and Alex Len at the 5, and it proved to work. I mean, Bradley Beal put up 30 points on 57% shooting in the starting 3, so we'll see if they continue to do that. And then, once again, nothing great by anything from the starting lineup besides Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. We get Raul Neto at the 2, 6 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Alex Len, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Denny Avdija, 6 points, 6 rebounds on 27% shooting on 11 shots. But they got some nice help off this bench. And once again, Davis Bertans off the bench, second leading scorer besides Bradley Beal. 21 points on 50% shooting, 6 of 12 from 3. Fantastic. 2 assists, 3 rebounds to go along with that. Can always count on Davis Bertans, truly. Daniel Gafford, 13 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. And then look at this, Robin Lopez. Yes, sir. I would love to see this man get way more production than he's been having. 17 points, 2 rebounds off the bench in only 16 minutes. So well done by the bench here of the Wizards. That's what this Wizards team needs. They need the bench to get it done because Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal all command the ball in the starting lineup. Nobody else can get any real quality kind of consistent looks. But they need to rely on that bench, and Davis Bertans is getting it done. The nice 21 points there. Alrighty, and then the Thunder. Anybody do good out here? Pukozetsky back to being bad, man. 8 points on 27% shooting. No Dort, no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The leading scorer of the squad was Darius Bazley. Fantastic. 26 points, but not great shooting. 1 of 6 from 3. 36% overall on 19 shots. So nothing great here by this Thunder team, and that's what we know. So well done by the Wizards. Davis Bertans able to get it done off the bench. Alrighty, Grizzlies and Nuggets now. Jokic gets it done in the clutch, but man, oh man, can we talk about the Grizzlies not being clutch? Another game here, and they had chances. Grayson Allen, tie game, last shot in regulation, misses a 3-pointer. They go into overtime. Ja Morant, tie game, takes another kind of mid-range floater that does not fall, like the same one he took against the Knicks that just could not fall. So it goes into double overtime, and then Jokic hits the big shot. So this Grizzlies team is one of the most unclutchest team of the season so far, unfortunately, and they lose the games close because nobody can be clutch. They can't hit that last. They can come from behind and, they can hit the 3. If you just hit a 3, they can hit the 2 if you just hit the 2. But if it's a tie game, nobody's ready to hit that clutch shot. We saw Grayson Allen miss one. We saw Ja Morant miss one, and they end up going into double overtime and can't survive it. So let's start here with the Nuggets. Facundo Campazzo steps up in the starting point guard position because what's-his-face did not play. Monte Morris did not play this game, so once again, why they need Austin Rivers desperately on this team. So Facundo Campazzo steps up at the starting point guard position, but has a very, very not great night. 3 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 12% shooting. Not getting it done, but they didn't need it because Will Barton steps it up, 28 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Jokic went 47 points, 8 assists, 15 rebounds. Aaron Gordon, once again, struggling to score here on this team. 2 points on 7 shots. I mean, first of all, he's not playing that many minutes, 21 minutes. Second of all, he's not taking that many shots. And third of all, he's not scoring that many points. So he's going to have to kind of, figure out where he fits in. I would wonder if this team would work if Aaron Gordon drops down to the starting point guard position. I would wonder how that would turn out. I don't think that well, but it's something to think about, I would think. And then Michael Porter Jr. gets it done, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 of 8 from 3. So he got it done. And then off the bench, very well done. We get JaMychal Green, 12 points, 5 rebounds. PJ Dozier, 10 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And then Paul Millsap, can always count on him. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists as well in only 12 minutes. So very well done overall by this Nuggets team, getting it done in the clutch. Jokic hitting absolutely clutch shots. We just saw it at the top of the show. So fantastic here by the Nuggets, able to win. And man, oh man, the Grizzlies just coming up just a little short here. But hey, they were competitive, so a little bit of a silver lining if you want to give them one. John Morant, 36 points, 12 assists, 2 of 5 from 3, 8 of 11 from the field, 54% overall. Just unfortunately missed that game-winning shot in overtime, unfortunately. Grayson Allen, 24 points, 3 steals, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. He shot 40% from the field, 3 of 10 from 3. Unfortunately, he missed a game-winning 3 in regulation. Xavier Tillman fills in for Jonas Valanciunas, who did not play, so they didn't have their big, but Xavier Tillman fills in pretty good. 18 points, 14 rebounds. That's exactly what Valanciunas does on a consistent basis, so really no drop-off there. Kyle Anderson, 11 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and Desmond Bane, 3 points on 4 shots, so he didn't take a shot, and he only played 15 minutes. Off the bench, we get DeAnthony Melton putting up 25 points, 4 steals, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. He did play 40 minutes, but still a great line. And then John Conchar, 10 points in only 16 minutes. So just comes up a little short here. Somebody's got to be the clutch ability here on this Grizzlies team, or they're not going to go far in the playoffs, man. They need that clutch gene. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night, the Lakers and the Jazz. And the Lakers did have Andre Drummond. I mean, they were rocking their kind of classic lineup of Schroeder at the 1, KCP at the 2, Kuzma at the 3, Markieff Morris at the 4, and Drummond at the 5. Still not enough to beat this Jazz team. So let's start here with the Jazz since they got it done. Mike Conley still at the 1 because no Jamal Murray, unfortunately. He's still out. So Mike Conley, 14 points, 10 assists. Decent night by that man on 45% shooting. Joe Ingles, 21 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Very well done. Shot fantastic. 5 of 8 from 3 and 72% overall. Rudy Gobert, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Classic night by him. Royce O'Neal, 13 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. And Bojan Bogdanovic, 19 points on 58% shooting. So starters were all able to get it done. And then we got Jordan Clarkson off the bench. 22 big old points here. Fantastic night. 64% shooting. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the win when he was all by his lonesome. But when he's just playing the kind of, 6-man rotation here, that's where he thrives the most. Led the team in scoring. Fantastic work, able to really help this team win. And then for the Lakers, anybody do anything good here? We get Talen Horton-Tucker, leading scorer off the bench, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Fantastic there. Let's talk about the starters real quick. Dennis Schroeder, 15 points, 4 steals, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Pretty decent game. KCP, 15 points. That's it on 62% shooting. Andre Drummond is still not doing good. He's not doing anything like he did with that Cavs team before they decided not to play him anymore. 8 points, 8 rebounds on 25% shooting on 12 shots. Come on, Andre. That man was averaging like 20 points and like 15 rebounds. It was kind of crazy. Markieff Morris, a little bit of a light game, 4 points on only 4 shots, 2 rebounds. And then Kyle Kuzma, 17 points, 3 assists, and he had a pretty good game, 61% and 1 of 3 from 3, but just not enough to get it done. And besides Talen Horton-Tucker, Montrezl Harrell had a really bad game, 2 points, 2 rebounds on 4 shots in 12 minutes, so not the greatest there. And the Lakers do get the loss. So a little unfortunate there for this Lakers team, losing another game, but the Jazz were able to get it done. Alrighty. This is what we're going to do. We're going to add up the point totals from last night in our MVP and 6th Man of the Year race. Then we're going to do our moneymaker, and I don't think we are going to get to Shakur Brown, man. Unfortunate. Our NFL draft prospects of the day are coming to a close. I think on this Thursday, once we are 1 full week away from the draft, we are going to start kind of ranking our players, ranking these draft prospects, doing our own mock drafts, shoring up kind of the meat and potatoes of the draft for this year. So we are coming to a little bit of a close here in the NFL draft prospect of the day. We haven't been able to kind of figure them out or kind of fit them in consistently here. A little unfortunate in this kind of back half of our draft countdown. But we'll try to make some room in the show. Maybe at the kind of stories portion. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the week for the draft, that kind of week, this Thursday to next Thursday, we are going to kind of hammer in deep in the drafts. Hopefully. That's the plan anyway. You never know where you're going to get here on Takes by Fans. But let's go and count up the points from last night to see who are the new 6th Man of the Year and MVP race front runners, if there is one. So let's start here. The Bucks and Giannis did play last night. They unfortunately lose. Did we talk? We didn't talk about that game. I was going to say we didn't talk about this game. Damn. Suns Bucks. Great game. Goes into overtime. A little bit of a bad call gives the Suns the win. So we'll talk about this one quickly. Giannis had a good game, 33 points. Chris Middleton, 26 points. Drew Holiday, 25 points. Dante DiVincenzo did play this game, 9 points on 40% shooting. And then for the Suns, Chris Paul, 22 points, 13 assists. Can absolutely count on this man all day. Devin Booker, 24 points, led the team in scoring, hit that clutch shot in regulation, hit the free throws in overtime to win. 7 assists, 7 rebounds will go along with that. DeAndre Ayton, 20 points, 13 rebounds. They did have Jay Crowder. He did come off the bench, though. So Dario Saric gets into the starting lineup, 2 points, 5 rebounds on 14% shooting. So I don't think he'll be there again. I think Jay Crowder will go back to the 4. And then McCall Bridges at the 3, 21 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Alrighty, off the bench, anything good out here? We get Cameron Payne, 12 points. We get Jay Crowder with the 9 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 3 of 9 from 3, so a little off. Cameron Johnson, the 13 points off the bench. So still good night production off the bench, and they were able to get the win. So very well done to the Suns. Let's talk about Giannis here. So they get the loss. We got to start him off at -2 points. He put up 33 points, led the team in scoring, led the team in rebounds, but he was also a -3 on the floor, took 22 shots, hit 54%, 0 of 1 from 3, so love seeing that. So we'll kind of just move his points to -2 for the loss. We'll keep him at -2 there. All right, so Giannis goes from -6 points to -8 points. He is kind of falling off here. Alrighty, Nets and James Harden did not play last night, so we don't have to worry about him. We get Joel Embiid and the 76ers. They did play last night, and they lost. Not great, so we got to start Joel Embiid off with -2 points here. Alrighty, he went for 28 points, led the team in scoring, led the team in rebounds. Unfortunately, and led the team in assists, led the team all around. So fantastic there. But unfortunately, was a -6 where we see Mike Scott at +11. Although he did play only 14 minutes, but then we also see Furkman Korkmaz +6 and only 25 minutes. So we'll keep Joel Embiid at once again -2 points. Didn't really, he did good, but not enough. He could have done more to kind of help the team out a little bit. As we said, he shot very poorly. What did we say? 28%. 38% on 21 shots, not great. So Joel Embiid will still be -2 points here, so he goes from 15 to 13. 13 points here. All right, Damian Lillard and the Blazers did not play last night. Thank goodness, because they probably would have lost and it would have killed me. All right, then we go to Jokic. Oh, my goodness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we may give out our first five-pointer here since we've been keeping track of all these points. So let's go to Jokic here. Gets the big old win in overtime. Led the team in scoring by a mile with 47 points. Led the team in assists. Led the team in rebounds, a +3, and a nice kind of 2-point win. Hit the clutch shot in double overtime. So you were clutch down the stretch. Fantastic. We're giving Jokic 5 big old points for his performance. He goes up to 15 points and is now the new front runner here in the MVP race. But let's finish off here with Steph Curry. Got to talk about him as well. He ends up beating the 76ers. We got to give him the +2 points there for the win. Let's gauge his performance to see if he gets any more points. All right, Steph Curry, 49 points, led the team in scoring, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 10 of 17 from 3, a +11 on the floor. So we're going to give him 4 points here for his performance last night. Just the 3s and the 49 points, able to will his team to the win against a really... do we give him a 5-pointer here? We're talking about the number... Are they still the number 1 seed in the East? They are still the number 1 seed in the East. Man, oh man, a great win here, a great win. Do we give him 5? I'm going to give him 4. We'll give him 4. He didn't hit like a game winner, a buzzer beater. That's kind of where that extra 5th point comes from. But still a great win here. We'll give him 4. So he goes up to 13 points. So we still get Jokic in the lead with 15 points in our MVP race. And then let's go to the 6th man. Montrezl Harrell and the Lakers did play last night. Unfortunately, they lose. So we got to start with Montrezl Harrell -2 points. And he had a really poor night last night. 2 points on only 4 shots. -3 on the floor. 2 rebounds, 1 assist. So we'll move him up to kind of -3, honestly. -2 for the loss, and then just nothing really great from this man, really letting us down. So we got to drop him 3 points down to 3. Jordan Clarkson did play last night, and they get the win, so fantastic there. Led the team in scoring as well, so we start him at 2, give him an extra point for the +2 points. He was a +2 in a big old win here, so I think we'll just leave it at 3 points here for Jordan Clarkson. A 3-point performance for that man, so now he goes to -4 points. He was at -7. Tim Hardaway Jr. and the Mavericks did not play last night, so don't have to worry about him. And then Thaddeus Young and the Bulls did play last night, and he came off the bench, so even better. So let's go to this Celtics-Bulls game. So Bulls get the win. We start Thaddeus Young off with 2 points there. He had 13 points off the bench, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds on 50% shooting, and a +3 off the bench. So we'll give him, what was he, 3rd leading scorer here? Tied for 3rd. That's pretty decent. 16 minutes. We leave him at 2 points. Let's leave him at 2 points for his production last night. Pretty good overall. So he goes up to 4. And now, Thaddeus Young is now our new 6th Man of the Year candidate here. And we may actually have to kind of put kind of the restrictions as well. It's going to be tough for them to get to that 6th seed, like kind of what we want Curry to be. So it is going to be hard for Thaddeus Young to win MVP or 6th Man of the Year, even if he does have the points, because, I mean, we do need to start seeing wins. The Lakers have more wins. The Jazz obviously have more wins. The Mavericks still have more wins. So it is still going to be a little bit of a kind of a winning battle here for Thaddeus Young. But so far, just points-wise, we got him as 6th Man of the Year. Alrighty, let's go over to our moneymaker. Let's go to our moneymaker. What do we got on tap today? Alrighty, couple games on tonight. Magic, Hawks, Hornets, Knicks. We get Nets and Pelicans on at 7:30 TNT. Should be a great one. We get Clippers, Blazers at 10 o'clock on TNT. Oh my goodness, Blazers. We need this game, man. Y'all need this game. Damian Lillard, hopefully he's playing, man. And then we get Timberwolves, Kings, the last game of the night. So let's see if we can get a nice little moneymaker here. See what we can do on this 420 special day. Whatever our moneymaker is, we are betting $420 on it, folks, for our 420 special. So here we go. Updated the lines. We went 2 of 3 last night. Cavs sticking it to us. So let's see where the good value is today. The first game, Hornets, Knicks. Hornets +5.5. Knicks -5.5. Alrighty, interesting here. Let's see if everybody's good to go. Gordon Hayward is still out. Devontae Graham's a game time decision. Definitely going to need him. And LaMelo Ball's back, but not back just quite yet. He's still out. And then for the Knicks, just Alec Burks and Mitchell Robinson are out. So, the usual suspects there for the Knicks. This is going to be a good game. We know the Hornets love to keep games close. We know the Knicks keep games close regardless. So, should be a great one. Gonna stay away from it. I think the spread is really kind of close here. And I don't think there's any great value here. So, I think we'll stay away from this one. And Knicks -5.5, I think is better bet if we had to take it, but we know the Hornets love to keep games some close here, and maybe they play even better because they just got some news that Lonzo Ball is back, almost fully healthy to be kind of out there on game day. So we'll stay away from that game. Let's see what else we get here. Nets, Pelicans, the nationally televised game out here. Nets +3, Pelicans -3. A little interesting here. Kevin Durant is out. James Harden is out. So we're just kind of rocking with Kyrie Irving. But look at this. This is kind of big here. Nicholas Claxton is out with the COVID-19 protocols. He's getting great production off the bench here. Absolutely fantastic. And Chris Chiazza is also out. So probably expect a Blake Griffin still in the starting lineup, which I don't really love that much. And then for the Pelicans, Josh Hart is still out. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is still out. So interesting here. Can Kyrie Irving finally win a game by himself? Probably not here. So Pelicans can't trust Lonzo, so we'll probably stay away from this one. Going to be a better one to watch. And let's see what Kyrie Irving can do by himself on that floor. Alrighty, then we get the Magic and the Hawks. Magic +12, Hawks -12. Damn it. Probably going to have to stay away from this one just because the spread's a little bit too big than we like. But for the Magic, Terrence Ross is out. James Ennis is out. Otto Porter's out. Michael Carter-Williams is out. And that's it. Markelle Fultz is out for the season. We knew. All right, for the Hawks, Danilo Gallinari's out, Tony Snell is out, Chris Dunn is out, and Cam Reddish is out. So the bench is a little lackluster. Danilo Gallinari being out is huge, so Lou Williams is going to have to pick up the slack a little bit. So we got to have to stay away from this Hawks game. Spread's a little too wild here. Love the Hawks. Don't trust the -12 here. Alrighty, 2 games left. Let's see if we can get something here. Clippers, Blazers. Clippers -7, Blazers +7. Let's see who's all in to go. I want to take the Blazers +7. I truly do, but I know this Clippers team rises to the occasion. Patrick Beverley's out. Serge Ibaka's out. That's it. I mean, we got Kawhi Leonard. We got Paul George tonight. Going to be a great one for the Blazers. Damian Lillard's out still. Yusuf Nurkic is out. That's a coach's decision. We've been telling y'all that. Nurkic is not good, man. He needs to come off the bench. We need to see Enes Kanter in that starting lineup every single freaking game. Nurkic does not get it done. All right, let's see if we get any more news on... I can't believe Damian Lillard is still out. I would have sworn that man would have kind of made it to go here. Alrighty, so we got to take the Clippers -7 here, man. I'm not ready to trust this Blazers team. They're not winning consistently. They're barely squeaking out wins when they do. No Damian Lillard. I can't trust the team. No Nurkic. Yeah, it's good because he's actually not that great. He's decent defensively, but he can't get it done offensively, and he doesn't really translate to wins when he's out on the floor. So Clippers -7, I'm going to give it up for them. They usually always rise to the occasion when they face these good teams and really blow them out. So Clippers, man, we'll swallow the 7 points here. No Damian Lillard for the Blazers. I have no confidence in that team. And if Derrick Jones Jr. could do something, if he can get like 15 consecutive points, like consistent points out there, they may be able to win, but I can't trust him either. He doesn't give us anything either. So I got CJ McCollum and Norman Powell. Good. I'll get 42 points out of them collectively. Nobody else is scoring, unfortunately. So Clippers -7 we'll rock with. And then the last game of the night, the Timberwolves and Kings. Oh, value. I love it. Timberwolves +3.5. Kings -3.5. Out for the Timberwolves. Malik Beasley's out. Jalen Noel is a game time decision. And then Raquan Holmes and Marvin Bagley are still out for the Kings, so I'm taking the T-Wolves +3.5. Are you kidding me? Yes, sir. I get a better defensive team in the Timberwolves. We know this Kings team likes to get, some nice offensive production. Hassan Whiteside still in the starting lineup, so, that's still good for the Kings. But this Timberwolves team, I love it. Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns playing. We'll see. Is this the game? I know we've been saying it for like the last 5 games, but is this the game that D'Angelo Russell gets back into the starting lineup, or is he still going to get it done off the bench? Regardless, he gets great production whether starters or bench, so it doesn't really matter. It's just we want to see him in the starting lineup with Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards and see what they can do. But yeah, Timberwolves +3.5. I love this Timberwolves team now that everybody's healthy. I can consistently count on Karl Anthony Towns to get it done. I can count on, Anthony Edwards too as well. So I love this Timberwolves team, man. I'm not going to lie. So we'll take the 3 here over the Kings. Kings nothing great. We'll take the Timberwolves. So we've got a nice little moneymaker here. 2-teamer, put $420 on it, and we're walking away with $1,500. Fantastic. So our little 420 special here, Clippers -7, Timberwolves +3, $420 on it, folks. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us. Unfortunately, not getting to Shakar Brown. Truly unfortunate. We spent an hour on stories today. I'm sorry, folks. Just a lot to talk about. All right, let's see if anything is breaking. Dave Gettleman explains not adjusting Kyle Rudolph's contract after uncovering foot injury. Alrighty, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll read the article, see what's up on that. Alrighty, that is gonna do it for us today. It looks like nothing breaking here. And yeah, alrighty. We're back tomorrow, folks, live, noon Eastern, potentially looking at our last NFL draft prospect of the day. Potentially. We'll see how the last week's going to go. But, alrighty. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. I better see you tomorrow. You understand me? I better see you tomorrow. 421. Don't get too hungover on the 420. Alrighty.